Hey, good morning. We are starting another day of episodes. I've got a bunch of them to do today. And so the first one is going to be with a gentleman I met about almost, I don't think quite a decade ago, but almost 6, 7 years ago, maybe. And he's been on the show, Brendon Burton from Securing Your Life Today. And I'm going to bring him on here. Hold on a second. Okay. Hey, everybody. Good morning. I am back, and we've got a whole bunch of episodes and guests today lined up. So we're going to start off with the gentleman that I've known for about 7 years or so. He was in the financial industry in one capacity. Now he's in a different capacity. He kind of saw the change in the financial industry coming. And so where we're at today, I think this is very appropriate and timely to have this conversation with him. So without further ado, I want to bring on Mr. Brendon Burton. Oh, wrong one. Sorry, Brendon. Hold on. Where are you? Is you? Is you? Where's Brendon? Okay, this one. Hey, everybody, and good morning. We are back, and I've got a whole bunch of episodes to do today. I've got a bunch of guests lined up. They are all going to be in the waiting room. And one of them is just entered, and this is a gentleman that I've met about 6 or 7 years ago. He was in the financial industry in one capacity. He kind of saw this change happening in terms of access to monies and how to manage your finances. And if you're in a situation right now where you're stressing out about this stuff and the complexities of multiple platforms and multiple things, I really think this is a very timely conversation. So he's been on the show before, Brendon Burton. You can go check it out on the Podbean page for the Raad Life. You'll find Brendon's link. I might even link it later on to the old show. And I'm going to bring him on right now. So 1 second here. Let's admit Brendon. Brendon, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, do you have LinkedIn Live, by the way?
I don't, but I applied for it, and I really laid it on thick with the 5 years of doing the show. So hopefully they'll go, oh my God, we got to get this guy on. So I'm working on the live for both LinkedIn and thanks for setting me up, by the way, for LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook through Zoom. But I have not heard back from them. So if your people know the people at LinkedIn, have them contact my people.
I'm trying to get it approved too, by the way. So
yeah. So it's a very small application. Anybody who's listening who's interested, go apply now, because I hear it takes a while, and
especially with what's going on.
Well, but it's an interesting way to get out there. And otherwise, there's a limitation I'm finding out on LinkedIn for posting videos more than 10 minutes. You cannot do it. On IGTV, the limit is 15 minutes. Facebook doesn't have a limit. And then there's always the ability to set it up on YouTube and then share it. And if you need any more information, contact me and I will show you how. Or go to the Golden Steel Productions page, which is my production company that produces the Raad Life and other shows. We've got a bunch of people actually in development right now. And we are more than happy to help you guys and guide you, because this is something that's becoming more and more important information to be out there. I mean, you just said it yourself. You applied to try to get on their life. So with that perfect setup, thank you, sir. That's a great way for me to start the morning. A little business promotion on my end and on yours. I was saying to people that we had you on the show a couple of years ago. I've known you for about maybe 5 to 7 years. And you and I came together, and I can't even remember how we came together. We connected, was it through Stephen Reno maybe, or something like that? I can't remember. But we connected, and we were just reminiscing about the fact that I was at the R&D Cafe at Fashion Island in Newport Beach. And you said to me that was kind of a transformative point in your life, because I said to people before you got on that you were in the financial industry and quite successful at it. And then you saw this sort of change coming and the need for a different approach. So why didn't you tell people a little bit about that? And, I can't take all the credit of meeting you at the right time and transforming this thing and putting you on the right path, because I think there's a higher power that was involved in this. But by all means, please, Brendon, the mic is yours. Tell people a little bit about background. Tell them about the company. I'm going to put the website up here in a minute as well for people to see it. Go ahead.
Do you want me to start where we met, or do you want me to go back before
Yeah,
that?
just don't tell people how much I ate and how many drinks we had, but because
That's
I think
funny.
it's irrelevant information.
Well, we met at an ironic time where I was at the peak of my career as a top 1%, financial advisor in the country with Northwestern Mutual. I actually ranked top in the top 1%, not just with Northwestern, but industry wide, just to give people a perspective. And I got to the point where I was just I didn't enjoy what I was doing anymore,
Mhm.
and really the financial industry,
And
uh,
why was that, Brendon? Why didn't you enjoy what you were doing anymore?
um, I felt like we were just selling products basically. I felt like that at the end of the day, our objective was to sell a product and make a
Hmm.
commission.
Hmm.
And that's what companies wanted, right? That's how they stay in business. That's how they grow.
Hmm.
And it just dawned on me that people were not getting the actual help they needed, and so basically, you know, I had a hard time basically sitting in a room with people knowing that my objective was to sell them a product. But even if I sell them this product, they're going to go home and in 6 months, their finances are still going to be all messed up.
Right.
Or,
And you were
or,
you were also
or,
telling me when we were talking preparing for the show that you felt kind of limited in what you could advise, even though you knew that you should be, because you were restricted by what the products were and the company regulations and guidelines, right?
right. So another reason why I left to become an independent financial advisor is because these companies, they obviously have, the legal responsibility over everyone. So
Right.
so so that means that, especially in times like this right now, um, basically they're in charge of saying what the advisors can and can't say, can and can't do,
Right.
and maybe that's good, but maybe there's also circumstances that arise where you need to act in the client's best interest, and that's above a company, corporations,
Right.
policy guidelines, all that.
Well, and so tell people a little bit about the company because they can see it, but the graphic is not very clear. So securinglifetoday.com, right?
Yes.
And hey, your smiley face is up there, so that's all I care about, But okay, so tell people about Securing Life Today. What is
Yeah.
Securing Life Today?
Securing Life Today is a fintech platform. For people that don't know what that fintech stands for, it's financial technology. And we started 6 years ago down this process when technology was becoming a very popular thing for consumers, and it just started. And so
Mhm.
now we're a popular financial software that people can sign up for and make sense of their finances in one picture frame. So imagine, you've got a puzzle, right? And let's just say that that's the current state of everyone's finances. It's a puzzle. It's scattered all over the place. And your objective is to put that puzzle together so you can see the picture clear
Clearly.
and
Hmm.
yeah, and make sense of what you need to do. That's what we allow people to do, is bring their finances to a one dashboard that's fun and friendly, that's engaging, that wants to help people reach their goals.
Hmm.
So it's not just a dashboard that brings everything together, but it also allows them to collaborate if they do have a financial advisor, a
Right.
CPA, attorney. It allows them to go through modules and workshops to teach them. So like I want to learn about 401, what a 401k is and everything, I can learn about that through this platform. If I have kids and I'm trying to teach them how to be responsible with money, this is a big
Right.
thing right now.
Right.
Is I'm sure a lot of parents right now are teaching their kids what budgeting is right now. I've already seen videos on Facebook, and I'm injecting our stuff. Hey, have you
Yeah.
used our program yet? It's a great opportunity for you to get your finances in order, but also teach your kids in a fun and friendly way. So it's
I need to connect you with a gentleman that was on the show that actually wrote a book. He's in San Clemente. He's a fellow San Clementian. He wrote a book about how to teach kids about stock market and stuff of that nature. He's in the financial industry, and he's kind of went through this with his own kids. And
I
so he
wonder
wrote
if
a
I
book.
know him.
Yeah, you probably do, because yeah, and if not, you should know him, because it sounds to me, which is new information for me, is that this is not just a platform for the end user like me, for example, who has like a Charles Schwab account and a Merrill Lynch account and the Chase Bank account and all this stuff, and I have to basically be the center of the spoke in my own head or on my own desk or whatever to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. I can actually bring all this stuff into one location and be able to look at my whole financial picture and financial health, and then be able to then reach out for resources and get support in what I need to do and guidance in one location. Not only is it for an end user, but it's also for everybody else in the industry that's providing those kind of services from the right place, from a servant's heart, if you will, to basically
Yes.
also engage, right?
Yes, and you know, most people think when we're creating these platforms that we're like going against the financial advisor. We think that the financial advisor is still an important role, so that's why we've created an ecosystem.
Right.
So we provide the tools, technology, meets, you know, vetted out top financial professionals around the country, and then also, you know, there's so many brands in the financial services industry now more than
Yeah.
ever. It's
Yeah.
like just banking now. It's like, who do I bank with, right?
Well,
And
and to be honest, who do I trust? We had a mortgage meltdown. We had an issue with the economy basically crashing and 401ks going down the toilet in 2008. You got all these baby boomers that are concerned. It's not just even the young people. And now here we are basically going through another stressful situation financially. And so not only where do I get the information from, because we swim in a cacophony of noise. Okay.
right,
But we also, you know, at the end of the day, and I had a gentleman on yesterday who we were talking about leadership. And it was interesting because the concept of leadership has a component of humility, a component of humility that is directly linked to trust building. And
hmm,
so, you know, you go to, and he says, and this is a director of the Center of Leadership at Cal State Fullerton. He said, what's interesting is the people that are in leadership position that feel like they have to have all the answers right now, because they're expected to have all the answers right now. And they don't
right,
understand that part of being a leader is also to say, I don't have the answer, but I will look into it for you.
right,
That humility is part of the trust building, because then you know that you got somebody on your side who will do what they can and try to excel beyond that and rise to the
right.
occasion, versus, hey, well, no, this is what we have. Here's the form, here's the brochure, and it's sort of more of a canned approach. You're absolutely right. I think let's give out the website, by the way.
It's
securinglifetoday.com, right?
Yeah, and yeah, like I mean, I think like now is a perfect opportunity for people to take back control of their finances, which is their power. And you know, I would say that technology should be your first go-to, because you can have an intimate relationship with it technically.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
you put in your information and it's going to be a reflection and manifestation of what you're trying to accomplish. You know, the financial advisor should be the secondary. So once everyone's, you know, got this picture together, the puzzle together, you know, they have a budget, they can see everything in one place and help them make sense of it.
Yeah.
Then they can turn to their advisor or go to the advisor, but then both parties have more understanding, more prepared. I just think that if anything, it will help the financial advisors help the clients even more.
Well,
So
if you have a better idea, I mean, it's almost like going to a doctor or anything, right? The assumption is a professional. I mean, in the case interior design, right? If we have somebody that comes in that has a little bit more clarity about what their objectives are, what their situation is, we are a little bit more able to, in a custom manner, in a bespoke manner, basically help and serve them.
mhm,
Otherwise, there's a learning curve that has to happen, hopefully.
right.
And when it comes to something as personal as finances, there's, you know, sort of the, how much do I want to tell you? You know, I got to build that trust relationship to tell you really
Oh,
the whole
exactly.
picture,
That's
right?
that's the that's what that's prior to what's going on right now. The conversation about money is that no one wanted to have the conversation. It was a private thing. The
Right.
more and more we've gone down the rabbit hole of technology meets finances, the more people have become open. Um, I mean, even I've just seen another platform that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's anything like ours, but it's funny, it's ironic. where like they bring in data to try to show their users like where other people their age are with finances.
Yeah.
Now again, I think that's a little extreme because,
Well, it's a little intimidating too, don't you think? I mean, it's
I
like
mean,
here's where you should be, but you're not. So I was already sticking my head out of the hole like Puxatawny Phil to see if
yeah.
there's some daylight, and now I'm pushing my head back down because no, this is too bright. I'm not even there yet. I feel intimidated.
Yeah, it's like a social media for your money, and I think
Yeah.
like I think that's a little bit too far ahead of where people are right now. But I do think like the personal financial dashboards right now that are connect all your accounts in one place. What we've seen in the last year with companies that provided it to their employees or just a consumer, the average consumer actually increased their savings up to 15%. So I don't, depending on where they were,
Yeah.
people just were saving more money basically. And then the average person freed up to 20% of their time. That's pretty significant. That means that it takes a lot of your time and brain power to go to all these different websites and try to compile it all together. Or even if you're using an Excel spreadsheet, the
Yeah.
need to constantly go in and update it. That's a lot of time, a lot of brain power, a lot of brain computing. So why don't you use technology just to do that for you?
No, it's absolutely correct. You're right on. And it's especially now when people are, yes, they're maybe at home and maybe they have more time on their hands, so to speak, at first glance.
Yeah.
But I've heard from a lot of people that the fact that they're home, the fact that the support, whether they have people that come and help them with the kids or with the house or all the stuff that they have in place to help that allows them to function in the professional capacity. Well, now that's all on them. So even though that they have more time on their hand does not mean that they have more available time.
No, and that's okay. So this proves my argument that right now and moving forward, maybe our time to do the things that we need to be doing, like managing our money, is going to actually become less time available.
Yeah.
I mean, so what does that tell you then? If maybe we're going to have less time to do more things that we enjoy because we have these more restraints on us, that proves the argument that you need to be switching over to using technology to manage your money now. Because if the time factor is going to become less, and this can actually free up time and you're spending more, then it's the obvious answer.
You take advantage of that time in a smart way right now. The other thing that's kind of interesting about this is, I read something a few weeks ago. I'm very big on storytelling and story brand telling. So Story Brand is a company out there, and the gentleman basically has written a book, and it's a pretty good book out there called Story Brand, I think. And he talks about, which was the first time I had actually heard it put this way, he talks about burning calories, mental calories. That basically the way that you connect with somebody is to actually not have them burn mental calories. So when you actually are providing a platform where you can bring all the pieces of the puzzle together, so that they burn less mental calories to get to where they need to get to, and that you have identified that they have a problem, which in this case is multiple areas that they have to all pull together into a center point. You have identified a problem they have that has a direct impact on their quality of life, has a direct impact on their financial well-being as far as getting a big picture quickly, and being able to make decisions that are sound and in their best interest, with the aid of professionals that would guide them, now that they have a clearer picture of what their situation is and can convey that to those professionals.
Right.
That is a efficient, useful tool that is basically everybody should be checking into. And I agree with you.
You said it, not me.
No, but it's true. I mean, and I know your heart is in the right place. I mean, I know you're working with a large church. You're trying to educate people on financial health and the importance of it. And if anybody is wondering why this is important, look around. I mean, I've heard people say, I got to pull $2,000 or $3,000 out of my bank account in small bills and put it under my mattress right now. There are people that are using, nobody uses cash, right? I mean, all of a sudden we want to basically pull cash.
So I was just talking about this, the news just came out and said that there will be a new digital dollar being created from all this. And you think about like money, like physical money, they always talk about like how physical money always ranks in one of the top most dirtiest things, like germs and all that. So like, especially with the coronavirus going on right now, like this is a perfect opportunity for them to say, you know, no more dollars. They spread germs, and we're going all digital. But I kind of find that.
But I've been using my hand sanitizer on my dollars. What, I don't have to do that anymore? Hooray! Sign me up.
But no, for real though. Like everything is going digital. Clearly, our financial system is going to keep going more digital. And so if that's the case, then you got to use technology, you know, for what it's for, which I personally believe that technology and money have always been a destination they've been trying to reach and bring to this certain point. So, you know, now moving forward, you know, I don't think you'll be able to get by using an Excel spreadsheet anymore.
No, and I think people were already there. They may have been hesitation or holding on to something, but in fact, this has been going on for a while. Now it's just really up to the surface. That being said, thank you, Brendon, for being on.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll touch base with you again while we're going through this period. And I appreciate it, my friend. It's been a long time since I've seen you in person, but it's great to see you. You be safe.
Thank you.
And continue doing the good work that you're doing. And I will look forward to having you back on. Have a great day, my friend.
All right, you too, Rad. Have a blessed day.
You too.